Hello, and welcome to Unabridged, the weekly podcast where teachers take on books. This is Sarah. Join us for bookish episodes and a monthly book club pick.
This is Ashley. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at UnabridgedPod, or go to our website, unabridgedpod.com, where the books we read are linked for purchase.
This is Jen. Check out our Teachers Pay Teachers store, our Patreon page, and our newsletter. Please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts to support us. You want opinions about books? We've got them.
Hello, everyone. Sarah here with a teaching tidbit. Today, my teaching tidbit is going to be about the value of using picture books in the secondary classroom and also the elementary classroom. But I think often elementary teachers are already using picture books in their classrooms, but sometimes secondary teachers are hesitant to do that. And I want to talk today a little bit about the value of using picture books in the secondary classroom. And also, if you are teaching your kids from home this year, you probably in secondary, you probably have picture books laying around from when they were younger, and there is some real value in using them to teach concepts, especially in English class. So what I used picture books for in my secondary classroom was to teach things that were not as concrete and were oftentimes things that students struggled to kind of wrap their head around. So items like theme and making inferences and finding the main idea and symbolism, all of these things that are not as concrete and sometimes can be difficult for students to grasp. I found that picture books really helped to solidify those more abstract concepts. First, I'm going to just talk a little bit more about using the picture books, and then I'm going to give just a couple recommendations of ones that I found were useful in the classroom. So what picture books offer is this ability for everybody to have a common text that they've read that you can discuss in class or with your child, and whereas if you are trying to read a long novel or read aloud in class that takes several days, it takes several days. And sometimes you just want to teach a concept and be able to have it all in a class period or two. So that's where picture books really provide us this opportunity for everybody to have read the same text. You can read it as a read aloud for the whole class, or you can have individual teams read the book together, but you only need like 10 or 15 minutes to read a picture book. And then you can go on to teach the more advanced concept like theme. So I'm going to talk about the book that I used to teach theme, which I felt like it was a great book because it's funny. The illustrations are great, but also it is not as straightforward as some of the other books. And the students, even though it was a picture book, they still had to think about what the author was trying to say with his words. That book is A Bad Case of the Stripes by David Shannon. And in this book, the main character loves lima beans, but she doesn't eat them because she doesn't want anyone to know that she likes lima beans, because none of her friends like lima beans. And she just is anxious and worried about friends finding out that she likes lima beans. And she worries and she gets this bad case of the stripes. So her skin turns all these different colors. And it's a really great book about conformity and, being yourself. And, it has all these great themes, but students really need to think about what the author's trying to say with his words in the book. So I think that this is a really good picture book to help teach theme. It offers a lot of opportunity for discussion and to expand upon the author's message in the book. So that is a really good one that I used to teach theme. The other book that I used in my classroom all the time is The True Story of the Three Little Pigs by John Sheska. This book is the Three Little Pigs story told from the wolf's perspective. And I think that, the book is hilarious and it's a really fun read and the students like it. But I think anytime you can get a well-known story from an unexpected character's point of view, that really offers this really great opportunity for comparison and rich conversation about perspective and point of view. And so for me, I had to teach point of view in my English classroom. So we would read the regular story of the Three Little Pigs from an omniscient narrator point of view. And then we would read the true story of the Three Little Pigs told by the wolf. And the students really liked it. And it was a really good way to show perspective in a really clean, straightforward way, and to teach point of view and why point of view matters and how the story changes if perspectives are changed. And so once we went through this activity with a simple book, then when we read a class novel or students were reading their own novels, we could talk about how the story would be different if it were told from a different character's perspective. So you start with this really simple concept and this simple story, and then you can expand upon it. But everybody has read the picture book, so we all have this common text that we can refer back to. And that's what I really appreciate about using picture books in the classroom. So if you haven't done it, I encourage you to do it. If you need recommendations of books, I have tons of books that I've used in the classroom. These two are just ones that students seem to like, and they really had a great way to teach a particular topic in the classroom. But you could really take any picture book that has a little bit of a deeper message and utilize it to teach something in the classroom. If you have questions, comments, if you have suggestions about books that we could use in the classroom, I would be happy to know about that. Hit us up on social media. Maybe this can be one of our bookish faves for a Monday post about picture books that are perfect for teaching higher level concepts in the classroom. I would love to do that. So if you have recommendations, let us know. And I hope this has at least given you an idea of something that you can do with your own kids while you're teaching at home, or that you can do in your classroom. Thanks for listening. Do you have comments or opinions about what you heard today? We'd love to hear them.
You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Unabridged Pod, or on the web at unabridgedpod.com for a list of ways to support us.
We'd like to thank Jared Featherstone, who composed our theme music, Strings of Light, and Katie Amy of Amy Photography, our podcast photographer. Thanks for listening to Unabridged.